Alright boys, so before we hop into this video, after all of the Swedish love, my brother decided to give up his Audi S4 and purchase the brand new Volvo S60 T6 R design, and it also has the Polestar tune from the factory, which adds the extra horsepower and torque. So we will be doing a video on this coming up soon. Gonna drive it tonight for the first time. He just got it today. So this video you're about to get into is pretty educational, so if you guys have any questions, be sure to follow me at Pancis. Enjoy the video.
Was that cool?
Yeah. Alright guys, so we're gonna go check out the engine here, diagnostics. Let it diagnose and see what's going on. Read information. 625. It's the ABS module. Alright guys, so we have an ABS module failure. So that's what's going on. We'll have to figure out what to do next. Probably either get this one rebuilt or buy another one used. So there you go. Stay tuned. All right, boys, it is a couple days later since we did the intro to this video, and it's just to test out some of the things that I did the other day. I cleaned out some of the dust with an air gun and put the connectors back together on the ECU main harness, and everything seemed to be working much better. We had less frequency of lights, and it turned into just a check engine light with no ABS traction control and all that stuff, so it would go back and forth and less frequent, and the car was running great. So I suspect, after just doing some common sense research on this topic, most people say that's just a sign of the module failing. If the module fails, it's just the solder points inside the module that fail and crack, and that's what you send your module out to get resoldered and fixed. In this situation, I suspect, since I messed with the harness, and since we have a car with 200,000 miles on it, or just about 200,000 miles, that the module isn't the issue because it's not on all the time. It constantly goes on and off, and then it goes through periods of it being off. So I suspect it's not a module, and that it's simply just the harnesses that need to be cleaned. And so here is the harness right here for the ABS module. You can see this is the module. To get it out, you obviously got to remove the fuse box, but since we're not removing it, we're just going to remove the harness. I have access here with a screwdriver, so we'll get that out. We'll take off the bulkhead harness again, and of course we'll disconnect the battery to let the ECU reset, and of course protect all the electrical. In the interim, I purchased some electric cleaner here, which is good for harnesses, which is what we're doing. It's a quick dry, plastic safe, and helps prevent contact failure. So that's what we're gonna do there. And then I got some dye grease, which is seals, lubricates, and protects and insulates not the floor, but the wire harnesses. And it also will increase the electricity connectivity, right? So we have aging harnesses, so we're gonna clean it and then increase the efficiency with the dye grease. So let's hop into that. So if this situation does not address the issue that we're dealing with, then obviously it's the module itself. But instead of me going ahead and spending the big bucks on a 200,000 mile car, let's see for $10 if we can just address the situation, get it right. So let's hop into it. Alright boys, so we have the ABS module off and the bulkhead harness off, and you just watched me spray it all down, and I'm just going to let everything kind of dry away before I start to reassemble everything. Some moisture down there. This was extremely dusty, as you can see on the surface it still is, but down there it was really dusty as well. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see the connectors down there, and then we also have the connectors here a little bit more thoroughly. So we'll give that just a few minutes to dry up, then we'll just reapply some dye grease on everything, and hopefully that addresses the situation. It seems so random that this thing pops on and goes away and then comes back, or then just shows a check engine light. And yeah, so stay tuned, boys. Alright, we got lights. Let's see how this thing sounds. Started right off nicely there. Very cool. So, I'm going to just drive this thing around today a little bit and see if that addressed the problem. Usually it will do it regardless of the drive. It's just a matter of how long it takes for it to do it. So let's see. I'm going to drive this thing today an hour or two. Tomorrow I'll drive an hour or two if it's not today, and I'll give you guys just some quick updates. But honestly, that startup was like really clean, so who knows, maybe just the electric there was good enough to make it better. Oh, you guys saw that startup? It was awesome. It sounds really good. See what happens here. Alright guys, so the next issue at hand that just arose after the weekend of driving this thing. So we drove about 400 miles roughly on this car this weekend, and the only two things that happened was the light for the ABS, which we addressed in this video, and the other thing was the trunk lid was working flawlessly for like the first 3/4 of the weekend, and then for like the last day and a half, for some reason it decided to stop opening. So all of our stuff was in there, and of course I had to climb into the back seat and hit the emergency release to open it. That being said, what happens is when I hit the trunk lid button on the door and on the key, the car is doing the actuating. You can hear the chirping on the key, and then when I hit the button over here and it's silent and I'm not talking, you can actually hear the fuse box engaging the electric. So you know that the electric is working and the buttons are working, and that it's just not communicating to the actual trunk lid. So it's one of two things. One, the actuator for the trunk lid is broken, or two, the harness in the trunk lid has been affected by some age. So let's check it out. Alright, we got the trunk open. Alright guys, so typically right here is the problem child. Let's go in here and check it all out. You guys can see right here is a break in the wire harness in the tape. So I'm going to get in there and check that all out right now. It's a couple wires that have issues here. I just literally did a little pull on this wire here and it popped off the other side. So this is definitely the culprit of why our trunk lid was not working. Alright boys, let's see now that I got that all soldered up before we put it together, if that is working now. And as you just heard, it is working. So let me just go ahead, bundle this back up nicely, put it back in its harness, pack it up. Alright guys, we got that fixed. So stay tuned, we'll take this thing for a nice ride today. Hopefully that ABS light stays off and we shall say we completed all the electrical issues with this car. Stay tuned. Alright boys, I am no longer messing around. I turned the car on just now to get it off the driveway and boom, there was the light. So all of the cleaning and all that stuff didn't do anything. The module is coming out right now. We're gonna get this thing shipped out today, get it rebuilt and get it put back in, and enough is enough. So we're gonna remove the battery tray, and then we remove the fuse box out of the way, and then it gives us access to all of the bolts for the ABS module. really straightforward on the car. It shouldn't take me more than 20 minutes to do this, so let's knock it out. And there we go. There is the module, boys. Looking pretty clean in there, nothing too crazy for the age. And obviously the board I can show you right here is also clean, so we'll get this thing sent out and rebuilt. And there is the ABS. You can see that there's really no corrosion inside, so the seal was pretty good. And this wire harness here actually looks okay, so I'm not too concerned. There's no real corrosion on that from the naked eye. And looking at this one on this side, you can also see that there's no corrosion in there. It's pretty clean. So this definitely needs to be rebuilt. I'm gonna call up the company now, get it shipped out today, and have it back in a couple days. So I'll keep you guys posted on this whole project here. But as you guys can see, it took me literally 15 minutes to do all this. It's really easy. Battery tray, 3 10mm bolts on the fuse box to move it out of the way, and there you go. Access to pull out the screws. Everything's right there. Let's rock it out. Alright boys, so the module is sent out and the car is going to be sitting outside in storage. So since it's not going to be driven and it's going to be rainy and whatnot, I'm going to put some little plastic saran wrap around the rest of the brake module here so it is protected from the elements. And the way this paper is it's kind of like a stickiness, the way that is designed from the baking goods that are in the house here. Never really seen anything like that before, but then again, I don't really do any cooking, so that's what that looks like. And I'm gonna put this all back together. The car should start. Obviously the lights will be on, but we're not driving it anywhere, so it should be okay. Alright guys, so we just parked the car on the street here for the next couple days, and obviously all those lights are on, and it is what it is until the new module comes back, until the module comes back repaired. So I'll keep you guys updated. In the meantime, if you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to subscribe, smash the like button. About 80% of you watching my videos aren't subscribed, so if you guys want to support the channel in any way, help it grow faster, give this video a like, and of course smash the subscribe button. If you guys have any questions, follow me at Pancis. Look forward to seeing you guys next video. This car has come a long way since we picked it up, and it has almost 200,000 miles, as you know, and when we're done with it, it's going to be a fairly reliable daily driver, and I'm excited for that because we're going to be driving it quite a bit. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.